Hey, Pete216 State here, and in today's video, we'll be looking at 5 reasons why the Steam Deck is awesome. The past few videos have focused on the excitement surrounding an amazing new PC handheld that will be released shortly called the Asus ROG Ally, and encourage you to check out those videos. However, the Steam Deck has been out for just over a year now, and in the 2 months that I have owned mine, I cannot recommend it highly enough, as it has completely revolutionized the way that I play video games. With this in mind, this video showcases the top 5 reasons why I believe the Steam Deck truly is next level, and why it has such a loyal and devoted fan base who rave about how good this handheld really is. Before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you for all of your amazing support to the channel, as we're rapidly approaching 10,000 views after only launching the channel 2 weeks ago. If you enjoy these videos, then please like and subscribe so we can reach our first milestone of 100 subscribers. And thank you so much for all of your positive comments, such as mkaze9455, who recently wrote that the commentary is on point and hopes to see more vids. Well, thank you mkaze. I'll personally try to reply to as many comments as I can, so keep them coming. So without further ado, let's get into it. And at number 5 is the ergonomics of the Steam Deck. I must admit that when I first saw a pic of the Steam Deck, it looked pretty bulky and heavy, and reminded me a lot of the Sega Game Gear from the 90s with an outdated design. However, when you actually hold the Steam Deck in your hands, many would argue that it's actually the comfiest and most ergonomic handheld that's ever been created, and you can spend literally hours gaming on the device without any discomfort at all. This is in contrast to the Switch, as if you have bigger hands like I do, then you can only really use that for 10 or 15 minutes until your hands start to cramp. So much so that I had to buy extra third-party grip controllers for my Switch OLED in order to play for any reasonable amount of time. So for a handheld that feels so great to use for long play sessions, you just can't beat the Steam Deck. At number 4 is customization. Other current handhelds and consoles like the PS5, Switch and Xbox Series S and X offer very few ways to customize your home screen, with only limited options such as color themes being made available. However, with the Steam Deck approaching nearly 3 million sales after its first year on the market, the thriving Steam Deck developer community have made great customization options available that completely change the look of the device. This interface is the one I use called Art Hero from the Decky Loader plugin, and while the standard Steam Deck interface is pretty great, this gives the device an even more contemporary feel and look to it. I'll be doing a tutorial soon on how to get this interface and others installed on your Steam Deck, so make sure you're subscribed. At number 3 is remote play. Some people may think that why bother remote playing your Xbox or PS4 or 5 console to the Steam Deck when you can just play it on the TV. But the ability to remote play is a particularly important area for parents whose kids hog the main TV a lot during the daytime, and also those of us with wives or girlfriends who want to watch their shows, which leaves us little time for our console gaming on the main lounge TV. So being able to kick back on the couch, or even better snuggled up in bed while playing your console games on the Steam Deck via remote play is a really awesome experience. I remember one of the first things I did when I got my Steam Deck was to stream my favourite game of all time, The Last of Us Part 2 from the PS5, while tucked up in bed with headphones on. And for some reason, it's actually a lot more scarier and thrilling with it being in a more intimate and immersive environment. There are 2 other big benefits why remote play is great to do. The first is that the Steam Deck battery lasts 5 to 6 hours when using remote play apps like Chucky for Deck for PS5 and Greenlight for Xbox, instead of say an hour and a half of playing AAA games natively. as obviously the console is doing all of the heavy processing power instead of the Steam Deck. The other is that we've recently seen some horrific ports of AAA games to the PC recently, where the performance is abysmal, such as Last of Us Part 1 and Star Wars Jedi Survivor just a few days ago. In fact, my last video discussed the many issues that Jedi Survivor's PC release had, and my recommendation was to just buy it on console and remote play if you can, or just wait a few months until all of the performance patches have been released. At number 2 is Emulation, and this is where the Steam Deck really comes into its own. You know, the ability to play literally any game that's ever been released on any console over the past 30 plus years, and to play them pretty much anywhere you want to on a handheld is truly mind-blowing. I even found out yesterday that you can even play the archaic but much loved Game & Watch games. Since getting my Steam Deck, I've been able to go back and play games I haven't played since I was in my bedroom as a 12-year-old. And in many cases finish games that as a kid I got stuck on certain levels or bosses, and this is exhilarating. And if you really think about it, this is why so many of us play video games, to help with our mental health, as a form of escape from reality, as a way to reminisce and bring back precious childhood memories, and to help entertain and engage us in exciting worlds and stories. Again, the Steam Deck developer community has made this process easier than ever with incredible apps like EmuDeck, downloading and optimizing all the emulators we'll ever need with just a click of a button that would otherwise take us a week. It's a running joke among many in the Steam Deck community that one of the first games people play in emulation is The Simpsons Hit and Run on the GameCube. And playing it again makes you really wish that one day they'll bring out a remastered version of it. And just before we get to number 1, if you really enjoy this content, then please consider supporting the channel by going to buymeacoffee.com, link in the description below, and donating a coffee. And finally, at number 1 is flexibility, in the fact you can use the Steam Deck exactly how you want to. If you want to use it just for emulation, then I cannot state what an amazing device this is to relive our childhood memories. If you want to just play fantastic indie titles, like the incredibly addictive Vampire Survivors, then so many of these seem a perfect fit on the handheld. If you don't feel very technical and just want to stick to playing the games, perhaps if you've just come over from console, then you can just get the green verified by Steam title from the Steam store to ensure great plug and play type gaming. However, if you do want to tweak and change settings, including spending a lot of time in the desktop mode, then you can do that to your heart's content. And finally, if you want to just play the latest AAA titles, then as long as you do a little research and make sure the game runs fine on the deck, then you'll have a great time. And so many AAA games do run very well on the Steam Deck, such as Elden Ring, The Witcher 3, Hogwarts Legacy, and Resident Evil 4 Remake, as long as you don't mind the trade-off of lower visual and graphics settings. So there we have it, 5 reasons why the Steam Deck really is an awesome game-changing device. The way I've explained it to many of my friends is that it's very rare when a gadget comes along that totally revolutionizes your life. Like the first time you read a book on a Kindle, the first time you browsed the internet on a smartphone, the first time you loaded a song onto an iPod or streamed a song, which meant you no longer needed to carry around CDs. The Steam Deck is one of these revolutions, one that many of us only dreamed about until the last year or 2. So please let us know in the comments, what are your top 5 things that you love if you do own a Steam Deck? And if you don't yet own a Steam Deck, what would you do on it first? Well, that's it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.